Hi everyone, I'm in the School of Design. Thank you for the introduction. And today I want to present the work that I'm doing. I teach within the environments track in the School of Design and Interaction Design. And I'm developing a framework for special interaction design and trying to explore. I'm going to show you some examples of how we can augment everyday objects and the spaces around these objects and around us in public settings when we are in front of each other in person. So yeah, everything very known around, like we have computers everywhere around us. Very old idea that is coming to life today with IoT and mobile phones, but a lot of the times, although we have all these devices around us and they're very connected with each other, we are not, especially when we are in the same room, not today, but other times, not really present. And I think also after COVID, it's what's been decreasing. It's been a challenge. So the question that I'm trying to explore is how to use technology to bring us back together and to be connected with each other and with the things around us, not only computers, but our cups, our tables, our anything that we have around us. So I'm building a system that is meant to explore this question. So it's a technology, but it's meant to explore this question from the point of view of the design perspective, where we have a speaker already, and I want to show you and cameras in a room, in a space here on campus, so we can track things in the space and it put sound into the objects directly without the objects have any hardware in them. So I can put the sound inside of coming out of this sound, but also I can move the sound out of objects between things and around it. This is called a wave field synthesis, and it's basically this is the setup that we have at the lab. So we have the array, the open space, and the tracking system around. So in there, I'm going to show you a couple of examples, but we're exploring how this could work and what type of project we can develop. For this is the way the system works. Basically, we have the cameras, the inputs, tracking markers in objects. In the future, we would want to get rid of markers, so that is ugly to do. And some of the work that's been presented probably would help us capturing 3D data and build recognized objects in real time without having to use our markers. It's getting into the information data that is then being sent to a software where you can add sound or a synthesized sound. And I've put it in different ways. In the objects, around people, or floating in mid-air. So I can be watching a movie. Forrest Gump, we did a demo where I can watch it in English, and over here I can watch it in Spanish. And I can even move around and the sound can talk on my left or my right ear. So using this system, we are developing very diverse options for designers to computer interaction and explorations where we can put sounds that are particles. We can make them lines. So I can make a line of water, for example, water stream. Or we can make a field where it's like entering like a forest where like sounds all over one, and then I can also attach it to an object, put it in there, move it orbiting around me, being projected. This is a video. I don't know how the sound is gonna look. Is to be able to hear with. It's not. You're not hearing anything. It's going super fast, though. I don't know what's high. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, basically, that's a demo, and I can share that with you guys later if you want. But we have this object it's empty. It's a 3D printed object, but basically, it's emitting sound. But also, I can pick it up, move it around like here, left, right. We recorded with binaural audio, so you can feel that CD sound. And these are some examples of where this could work. So we're thinking about like public settings. So, but even home environments, but maybe that's a far stretch because technology requires a lot of infrastructure. But in any, in museum experiences, you can enter a room, fill up with like a fill of water, and enter and move the water out away from you. Or in retail, where you can add to a Nike shoe, I can add like product information, price, whatever in the store. Things can talk to me, anything like a water, like things that would be very hard to add electronics to it, like a water bottle, like Coca-Cola, Coke in the stores. So storytelling, and also potentially, learning environments, museums or things where you can like use sound to explore the learn about something. This is gonna play weirdly again, so I don't know. This is a student's project. I apologize with this. It's going too fast. But basically, wait. Basically, the students use this platform in my classes. So in this case, they were designing an interactive library experience. So if you have books around, and each book can talk to you. So the books can tell you, hey, I'm about, about the food, what are you looking for? No, I'm looking to, you can do voice user interactions with anything in your environment, and they can, then they can tell you, no, if you're interested in, cooking books that are on the right, let me take you there. So if you pick it up, it can keep talking to you. They may, introduce you to my friend, the cooking book, and then they can talk and stuff. So yes, sorry, this is too. But we also been doing some more traditional XR, where you can be looking at something on the screen like an AR, but the sound is coming from the room. So we're trying to explore this boundary between the personal experience, where like we are in these devices, but what is that collective experience where we're not yet being, what are you seeing? What I'm seeing here, we can see different things, but we're hearing the sound coming from the roof. That's another video that basically we did for Mo Williams. He came with it like you will see, and actually we did with it's also with your lab, whenever they were walking the little pigeon, but you hear the pigeon walking in there, like so you take the pigeon is walking there, and then you can see it. What we're doing now is to expand to visual. So we want to connect sound with visualizations. So the orographic properties of the sound. In the case of visualization, you need to have a surface. So we're using projectors, but we're using the same tracking system to project into objects. So here we're tracking a cube, and you can project the different images. This is also a video, but it's gonna go super fast. Yeah. So you can pick up an object, and potentially imagine where you can have a piece of paper, and then you can watch Netflix and hear Netflix for a piece of paper. And then you can you are playing simple, you can throw it away, and then you can walk onto the wall, or can go into another object. So trying to get out of screens and having us be part of the same experience. I apologize, these are a lot of videos, that are not gonna work, or they're super fast. But here the students picking up flowers from the floor, and then the flowers jump into a tray, and they can carry it and put them on other surfaces. So it's more of an as well from my art, doing an artistic installation. This is another. Also, in the case of more XR, we can also connect what you are seeing on the screen, super fast, with what you're seeing on the projection. So you can have she's having a 3D model of a cat drawing of a column. And I studied architecture, and it's always a problem in not knowing the scale. So you can throw it out of the screen, and then, okay, that's a column 1-to-1, right? So I can see it. So also exploring those boundaries between screen and the digital space. And the videos were so fast, so I think I ended earlier, but that's the end of my presentation. And thank you so much. And if you're interested on this work on learning power, I don't know if we're gonna time for questions later, but that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we have time for questions if anybody has questions.
Sure. I'll go like that. Yes.
Can you expand on your vision on how this could be applied to retail environment?
To retail. So actually I did a lot of work with a Target before coming to CNU. And basically the idea is that you have information about products, right? And right now not the only, but usually people, either you have a tag there or a visual display somewhere, or the people use their phones. So if we could track, and people are doing that already, track where products are. We were doing that at the time, but not the output part. But if you know where a product is, let's say a shoe or something, usually works better when it's not electronic. Or and then you can, I can put sound in that object. So either can tell me about the price, basic information. So I can speak as I come closer and I speak it out. Maybe you can ask me, what do you want to know about this object? And the sound will come from the artifact, which maybe you don't need that in the sense, because but it provides personalized you can have personalized conversations, and the person next to you will be you're talking to the different shoes. So it's not like a global, but it's sound, so you could hear it. It's not like trying to be perfectly but it provides the potential to kind of add audio augmentations to the things in the store. Or we were at that time we're thinking about toys, so bring them to life. So you pick up a train, and we were doing projections. So like you put it on the floor, you start playing with the train. A train track is projected, but maybe the train is gonna start shoot. So you can and when you bring up to another object, maybe they will clash with each other, or you bring the dinosaur. Or, I don't know. You could animate things with sounds as you track in putting the sound into the. It's very playful, but some people also go to more information
Thank you so much, Daniel. That was a great talk. So a lot of the work that we focus on sometimes in HCI, but also vision and generally is very kind of pragmatic, which means we want to improve our productivity, we want stuff to be better, faster, whatever. But I think there's this whole other dimension that you're also exploring, which is kind of the hedonic properties of it, right? It needs to be a good experience. It needs to be fun. It needs to be playful. It needs to look and sound very good. So I wonder, what's your take on how much kind of on this spectrum and how many of the pragmatic qualities should we bring for the hedonic side or the other way around?
I think the pragmatic is the base foundation. So it needs to work. It needs to provide that what's needed, and then. But in order for that pragmatism to get that meaning and to get you to the next, to the wow factor, which is something in the context of the work that I do, my pragmatism goes around be able to provide it's also basic because it's also like what people do without technology. That's that the experience works for everyone, and they all have to download something to do it or to use their devices. You just go to a place, and it's right there, accessible to you and to everyone in the room. So it needs to work that way. And it's pragmatic. For example, the dynamic projection, for example, video and optic example, in the context of that cube cybernetic, it's great to look at it from the distance, but for the user, you don't really see the cube, right? So if pragmatism, you have to connect different projectors so they should work. It should be elaborated from the top so that you can see this way too. So there are the basic conditions for it to work as well. But yeah, in the type of board that I do, you don't have the other factor. And I don't know. I know the metrics of things or that, but for example, what we're doing for Target, the main question from the guy was why would people go to the physical store? They can do anything online. So if you're gonna replicate what they can do on the phones, there's no point. So you have to provide experiences that people find interesting and playful so that they will want to come and be with each other socially. So if pays off doing that way, I can be pragmatic in that way. I don't have the magic.
Thank you. Okay, so let's thank Daniel and all the speakers.